Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. I just gave a little handout. These are handouts or notes, and we call today's subject 2-gallon jug, and it'll talk about this. Of course, right at the top it has the date 2/16/18. That's from the other day. Pay barrier taxes, we'll go through that. The value of immigrants and immigration. America is taking a stand against immigration, but immigration is more what they need, because immigrants always help the society, because
Back.
it's in the back. See, one of the greatest speeches of Booker T. Washington was related to immigration. He said, "Why are you bringing immigrants from Europe?" At that time, it was mostly Italians, back to work in factories, when we have followed you tearfully to the grave. In other words, why are you bringing immigrants from Europe to work in American factories when you got us here? You know, and they offered him, next thing you know, he had Plessy versus Ferguson, I think, 1896. Yeah, you know, separate but equal. Hey, that's what they gave him, separate and equal. Legalized Jim Crow. So, but immigrants, you think about it, immigrants did, when there's a huge migration of people here, after a few years, they're integrated into society. So all the people that came, all the Dutch, and all the people from Denmark and Sweden and all of them up in Wisconsin making cheese, by the time they get laid in, and you building railroads, they're not gonna, and they got land, they gave all them 160 acres. And remember, the people came here from Europe because in Europe, they had the priest, the king, and the landed gentry. Landed gentry was all the land in Europe was already owned. You couldn't go homestead nowhere. Remember, Robin Hood's thing was about you can't shoot the king's deer and all that forest. Those deers is for the king. You know what I mean? But in America, every deer out there, if you can get him, it's yours. So the land was already owned. The people that came here to America, the white folks, got free land. That made them feel very important, because remember, they're landless. If it was the serfs in Russia, right? If it was the people, the homeless, I mean not the homeless, but the people in England that were farmers paid rent to the dukes and all of them people. They didn't own land. The landed gentry owned the land. So anyway, if you're going to build railroads in the 1850s and 60s, 70s, all that, you're going to need people to bring them in. That's why they brought the Chinese in. The Irish did all that work, and a few Negroes to build that railroad, $1 a day. And that's how you got Union Pacific, all them, straight across the country. Okay. In other words, you had to get immigrants to do it, or underprivileged. Now, this is not the subject for today, so I'll speed it up, inshallah. Immigration is good for America because they'll do the work that nobody else will do. That way you can afford fruit. Like here, hey man, in California, they had the guys on the side of the road, you get 2 of them big bags of oranges, at least last year, for $5. That's why I don't eat oranges here. $1.25 orange. I said, I'm waiting to get to California. When I get to California, I buy me 4 big bags of oranges, only $10, and I have oranges for a month.
You know how they talk about infrastructure in this country?
Right.
All you gotta do is look out there in the street and see who's doing it. I don't see no whole lot of Americans out there doing infrastructure work. It's being done by immigrants that have come here. That's who's digging up the streets and doing all that stuff and doing a good job.
The Negro will not do it. All the black electricity owners, all of them big companies, the guys that did the work, the first work here, they had 12 trucks back in the day. They was down to 2. And the 2 guys were the kind of original old, they were in their 70s then. So well, they was recommended to us. Say, people won't do the work. They come in on a Tuesday afternoon and ready to check out Friday morning, and they want a full week's pay. Anyway, so you can see this is our just notes that we make to ourselves. This is what we collected for Juma. School shootings. As you've been watching the news, remember what we said Friday. Now it's come to everybody's notice that they really, really, really knew about this guy. But now how's that going to help the movement? In this case, the FBI is the fall guy. And they had all of this arranged. Like all the uprising down here, we're going to get rid of guns. That's why the FBI let them do it. They'll take the fall for this because they got all the media and all the kids, not all the kids. Remember Shaitan? He's right in there mixing with you. And when he get ready to go, that ignition, he ignited this event. But this is where it's going to backfire for us, for them. They're going to keep looking. They got it to where they're going to just blame the FBI on the surface and we got to fire the director. You guys have been bad. No. We're going to keep the heat on to keep looking farther back you go. They didn't tell nobody or didn't follow it up. They did it on purpose. And they got people amongst you standing up and we're not going to take this anymore so they can get your weapons. See, you got to remember the American people is slow. So we got to help them along on this. Now, this time the government made the first step, but we got to keep pushing because they would stop right there. Okay. Write your own book, the one you want to read. This is just the way we feel about this is what we feel, especially about the movement. That's what we're doing now. Writing the articles, and it's like writing the future the way you want it to be. And then start doing the work to make it like that. That's all it is. Or if you was writing a book, what book would you like to read? Well, ain't nobody else writing it, right? So write the book you want to read. The future you want to see. Get busy and start doing it. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
On that point, I was thinking last night about different formats. Mm-hmm. So it just came to me to ask you, if there was somebody that you wanted to interview, is there any particular person that you would have in mind to like interview in relation to what we're doing?
Yeah, well, we're going to do the professional, the person
that
I have.
Discussion.
No, the person I have in mind, you know this Black Panther movie right now? Mm-hmm. The guy that made it is the one that made Fruitvale mm-hmm. Station. Mm-hmm. Not that he a homeboy, I can throw a rock and hit him. When this cool down, I want to try to get somebody to get our story to him. Now, you got your Fruitvale Station, now you got National Plain. You're talking about you had to make phony heroes. You you got you some real heroes here in Oakland. When he started researching, I said, well, ask your granddaddy what was happening. And he'll, what? You know, now, as we go along and what's been happening over the years, it's pretty serious. It is super movie, book worthy and everything. We just don't have time to do it. So that's who we have in mind. Get to him and give him a shot at it. This is what write your own screenplay comes from. It says write your own screen, write your own article, NAACP, legal advice from CARE. I mean, we're just gonna go down there and have fun with him. You know, we want your legal advice. We want to just show you what we have. We just want you to just say, ho-hum. This Axe Pete and Axe, you can see the other names right here. Okay, I'm going to breeze over this, but these silly Negroes did a lot, and they said a lot of things. And it was about us. It was about our character. The silly lady, remember she asked the other week, what kind of deal did I have with the police? Okay. I want to mention a few things. Would you turn the heat off just for a second? So, now, these two names, these people were in Algeria when I was there. And I showed you pictures of you know. Okay, now, first of all, they should ask the people in Oakland, because see, the police that gave these Negroes a lot of false information. They didn't give them a lot of true information too. And the reason that we know it's so detailed is because the way they was going to try to come at us, one of the ways was that they know everything about me. So they had one person just kept calling me, hey Chico, hey Chico. Now Chico was the name that I had. You know what Negroes, your young Negro friends, Chico. Like I got Cheeks now, I had them then. Hey Chico. So I said, all right. So that shows that they had to go back to FRS, Frico Ranch School for Boys. I was there from 1957 to 1959. During that period, when I was in the Rangers, that was my nickname, Chico. That means, this was years ago, they had to go and interview all of those people that were still alive, you know, and then they would ask, what did he do, what did he... So they've been scrubbing. The reason Mukhtar, Abdul Malik them, and all of them had to make up everything they said about me, because you know the way they talk about everybody got skeletons in their closet? Not so. They done interviewed everybody. Everybody. I mean, from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, when I was traveling around the country making a lot of speeches all the time, who does he know in Kansas City? This accent, everybody. Friends, relatives, everybody. Going to Louisiana, y'all still got any folks down there? Well, who does he? At family reunions, certain people right down the street here taking notes on all the family members that you know, carried here to me to find out what does my family think about. In fact, when we have a family reunion, everybody knows me, and all the women in the family are just kind of cousins that know they don't like me, but they like what they had heard, and the neighbor would watch, oh, so and so like you. I said, well, I like them. They're a cousin, but I mean, I ain't gonna This is cousins. It don't have nothing to do with nothing. What are you talking about? I don't know them. They look like girls to me. Anyway, but that means they didn't study. Another time, Khadijah called me the other day. Why they used to call you fats? Well, when I was 13 or 14. When I was 14, I was kind of short and chubby. You know, now by the time I got 16, I was 6 feet tall, 147 pounds. Well, that's because I spent most of that in the adjustment center, and the white man in those days used to work us with sledgehammers. You know, that kind of chain gang work. I mean, that's why I always grab a 16-pound sledgehammer, because when you raised doing that stuff, I don't want that little 8-pound sledgehammer. They got an 8-pound. They might have a 12, but in the jail they had 8 and they had 16. And I could John Henry them sledgehammers, at least I could, because of the training from the white man. So when I got out of jail at 16, man, I was tall and skinny as a rail and playing basketball, everything. But at 14, I was one short, trash-talking Negro, making fun of everybody, and people making fun of me, having a good time. So that was 1962, they called me fat, 61 or something like that. They didn't call me fat since 61. And only a little group, it was a little group that we was in a company. Not the whole penitentiary called me that, just the ones in they call it a company, a cottage, 60 boys in each one. They called me that in a cottage that I was probably in Washington or something. So they didn't, I know how serious they are about this. So they ask all kind of questions. Did he mess with little boys? All little boys mess with everybody. I didn't mess with no little boys. In the jail, I talked that trash, but ain't nothing like that on my record. I just didn't do it. But I talked like I did because everybody talked like they did. But they never got nothing. So they ain't got no skeleton and no closet. I ain't never cut nobody's throat. Never. I'm proud of that. So everything them niggas made, they had to make up everything. You could tell everything they say is made up. That's why it's so sweet. Okay. So now when we get to Algeria, first of all, the Black Panther Party, their East Oakland office is right next to ours. There's Black Panther Party, next door is Jerry's Pawn Shop, and next door to Jerry's Pawn Shop was a driveway. And you go back in the driveway and that house back there, that's where I had one of my main dope houses. Across the street was the bowling alley, had a little nightclub and then a bowling alley, you know. Used to be for white folks, and then there was for Negroes, and it was like a nice hangout. They had a little club, nightclub, and stuff like that. So we had excellent harmony. That stuff in the movie Panther about the Black Panther Party fighting with the dope dealers, that is nowhere near true. And as far as the Negro having a warehouse full of dope, nobody keeps dope like that. You have a warehouse. And people know it's a warehouse. And you got truckloads, he got trucks coming in. Remember the pickups full of marijuana? They didn't have that much marijuana. No, the only person that had that much was me, and I could, what I had to do sometimes, let my convertible top down and fill up the car with weed because the trunk would be full. But you wouldn't have to, you know, that's what kilos of marijuana. In those days, marijuana came in kilos, you know, bricks like. And the movie had people shooting it out with the dope. That didn't happen. They didn't have no nigga like that in Oakland because we was doing, we was There was nobody like that. We helped the party. Why would somebody, when they run off from the white police here, run to Algeria? Who's in Algeria? The Black Panther Party. And they have Pete O'Neill here. He's in Tanzania now. Everybody can contact him. If they want to know, just ask him. Just generally, what did Imam Musa, what was his ideas? And ask him simply, did he help y'all? Or was y'all broke till he got there and that gave enough money for y'all to leave Algeria? And was there a meeting on the second floor in a secure area there? And was my suggestions. First of all, the head of security was Pete. And when he checked on me, asked him if what he found out was that, hey man, you're a legend in your own time. That's what they told him, because he's from Kansas City. So, asked Pete O'Neill, the Panther in Africa. Did he help the movement, this mythical guy? Also at the first meeting, did the Negroes suggest that if you're having a revolution, that was 3 points. Number one, see if this is true. There's a white girl that hangs out up here, the security area, with a cocktail in her hand. And I just came from Oakland, and it's been a month for me to get up here. And she comes up here anytime she wants. So that ain't gonna work. Because remember, I'm coming with game, with revolutionary game now. I'm mad at the white man the way he treated me. Number two, you can't have a revolution if you're going down on the Rue de Douche Morag buying hashish every day or every other day. You can't do that with a revolution. Number three, you can't be talking to these women. I didn't know what it was called, but you see pictures of niqab, except their niqab was white. And these Muslims, I was another kind of Muslim, but I knew that you can't mess with the girls, because you couldn't go to no nightclub when you